Welcome to week 2 of our Creatures of Fantasy series. This week, we'll be looking at anime and manga that features creatures from Japanese folklore. I remember Blackbird as the quintessential, slightly dark teenage supernatural romance. Their thing ran for 18 volumes. That's 6 years of publication, starting in 2006. And I don't know how it doesn't have an anime. The manga follows Misao, who can see the supernatural. While the creatures were harmless at first, they start getting more and more vicious, and she must depend on her Tengu knight and savior to defend her and her Senka, aka Bride of Prophecy, virtue. It's really weird the closer you examine it. Still, this manga is full of drama, and if you can clench your teeth through some of the more old-fashioned nonsense, this story can be very entertaining. This historical supernatural manga is centered around Ginkgo, a man who aids those who are plagued by the supernatural entities called Mushi. Each story within Urushibara Yuki's work introduces a Mushi to the reader with the way in which they interact with the physical world and the humans within it. The atmosphere of this manga not only reflects the times but also the uncanny valley in which Mushi exists. The idyllic quickly transforms, and the art uses fairy-like forests and odd backgrounds to convey how tilted the other side might be compared to the one we are accustomed to. My anime list gives it an 8.7, which should be encouraging for the squeamish. Though this seinen work has horror elements, it is not a horror manga. I promise. So, those of you who would be scared to venture, it's okay, one bite. Now, this is a classic. Though Takashi Rumiko is more known for Ranma, this manga has had a large presence in the anime and manga industry. With 34 volumes and almost 10 years of publication, this shonen embodies what Rumiko's works are all about: humor, ridiculous situations, and strange premises. This story is about an ogress who is promised to a human boy who's not on board at all. I know it sounds icky, but trust me, it gets better. Though some of the themes would not be popular nowadays, this manga has humor for days. The art, the antics, and the jokes translate somewhat well, and thanks to the notes in the margin, even gaijins like us can enjoy. My anime list gives it a 7.71, which is pretty decent considering its age and its size. If you want to dive into a manga and have chuckles along the way, pick this manga up. This masterpiece. Why isn't everyone talking about it? Mononoke, not Princess Mononoke, is a beauty and I love it. And I don't understand how there aren't more cosplays and fanfics and fan art. All there is just a 12-episode series and 4 volumes of manga published in 2007 to 2008 and 2013 to 2014. Mononoke, the series, is a collection of short stories starring a wandering, nameless character who is only identified as the medicine seller. This person? Creature? Sexy beast? He investigates and exorcises Mononoke, a type of spirit that linger in the human realm by binding themselves to negative emotions. The art style is out of this world, and every story is captivating. I just wish the animation was smoother. With the sequel coming, we can't possibly leave out this cornerstone of shoujo anime and manga. Brought to us by Rumiko Takahashi and animated by Studio Sunrise, this anime and manga were epic, despite the ending the story had. Inuyasha starts off in modern Tokyo where Kagome lives in a Shinto shrine. On her 15th birthday, Kagome is attacked by a supernatural creature and dragged into a well that takes her into olden day Japan, the Sengoku period to be exact. There, she meets Inuyasha, a half-dog demon. From there, they go on a journey to retrieve the shards of a jewel and encounter many creatures from Japanese folklore. It's hard to explain how good Inuyasha was. Despite being a little cringe to watch now due to the quality of the anime and how almost nothing ages well, Inuyasha is still pretty great. It's very entertaining in terms of plot, world building, and the integration of folklore into the story. New anime like Kami-sama Hajime Mashita wish they could be as entertaining as Inuyasha. This 2018 summer anime takes us through the tribulations of Aoi Tsubaki, as she is forced into the hidden realm to repay her late grandfather's debt, which she does not question nor ask about the amount, by marrying Odana, an ogre and master of the Tenjinya Inn. You might think Inuyasha or Blackbird or Kami-sama Hajime Mashita at first look, but none are as bad as Kakuryo no Yadomeshi. This anime's Merisu has zero agency, unlike Inuyasha's Kagome, who at least had a hand in what she would do next. Aoi keeps doing things only after they have been suggested to her. She just goes with the flow. And she only goes about trying to repay the ogre after dithering for an eternity. Speaking of plot, the original light novel and its manga adaptation have had 4 and 3 years respectively to build to something and are still running. Midori Yuma, writer of both the manga and light novel, had 16 volumes in total to round off characters and develop a story that is not as formulaic as someone doesn't like Aoi because she's a pesky human. She cooks them food, they like her, everything is resolved. 26 episodes of filler. Why? When it comes to her romantic interest, Odana, his character is all over the place. He demands Aoi be his wife but also considers her a lowly human girl. I never thought I'd say this, but can we have Blackbird's Kyo back? At least his temperamental tendencies made some sense. I'd like to say that at least the art is really good, but beyond some beautiful sceneries, everything is subpar. The animation is lazy. And for some reason, all the Ayakashi love to stay in their human form, despite hating humans. I know this is probably a decision made to make characters more appealing or cut down on animation costs and errors, but One Punch Man cut down costs in its second season, and they still managed to animate non-human characters. Watching this was a mistake. Some say its take on Japanese lore is interesting. I say go watch Mononoke. It has an intriguing take on animation and Japanese mythology. Some say it has great music. I say it does. I also say you can get great music from Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinja, and you won't have to suffer through 26 plotless episodes. Some say it's a hidden gem. I say get a dictionary. If you have the time to watch this, you might as well rewatch Inuyasha. Just to nitpick, Aoi's grandfather groomed her to cook for Ayakashi. Like, he was planning to use her as a scapegoat for at least a decade. What even? Also, how have her friends not reported her missing to the police? That's it for week 2 of our Creatures of Fantasy series. Next week, we'll be looking at gods and religious figures in manga and anime. Each story within Urushibara Yuki's work